Hello, my beautiful friends. I want to talk to you today about something I believe with all my heart sometimes. You are hidden for a reason. I know that feeling, the feeling of being invisible, overlooked, or waiting in a space where it seems like the world is moving ahead without you. You see others succeeding, thriving, and you can't help but wonder, what's wrong with me? Why am I still here? But let me tell you, there's a reason. There's a powerful purpose in those quiet moments of solitude, in those times when you feel like nothing is happening. And I need you to understand this. Those hidden moments are actually shaping you for something bigger, something extraordinary. It's in the pause, in the waiting, where the real growth happens. And it's not a passive growth, it's a transformative one. You're being prepared, you're being refined. And yes, sometimes it feels uncomfortable. It feels like you're invisible, but I promise you this time is not wasted. It's a season of self-discovery. It's a chance to get closer to who you really are, to dig deep into your soul, and to understand what you really want, what you really need. Patience isn't about sitting still and hoping things will change. Patience is about trusting in the process, trusting that while you may be hidden, you are not forgotten. The world might not see you right now, but that doesn't mean you're not preparing for a moment where everything will align. In these hidden times, you're building something far more valuable than fame or attention. You're building inner strength. Strength that will carry you through when the spotlight does shine on you. You're learning lessons, deep lessons that you need to learn, and those lessons will be your foundation for when you step into the world with everything you've worked for. And let's talk about comparison. I know it's hard not to look around and feel like everyone else is moving ahead, like everyone else has it figured out. But I want you to know this, your journey is unique. What's for you will come in its own time, and that time is coming, my friend. The moments you're hidden are the very moments that are creating space for the magic that is about to unfold. So if you're in that waiting season right now, if you're feeling like you're stuck in the shadows, take a deep breath and remember you are not forgotten. You are being prepared. The world is waiting for the real, authentic version of you, and when you step into your purpose, it will be so much bigger than anything you ever imagined. Trust your timing. Trust your process. Embrace the hidden moments. Know that this is not your forever. This is your preparation. This is your rebirth. And when the time is right, you will step into the world. And the world will see you not just for what you've done, but for who you've become. Sometimes life moves at a pace that feels almost unbearable. You look around and it seems like everyone is advancing, new opportunities, new achievements, new successes. But there you are, standing still, feeling as though nothing is happening, like you're stuck in a moment of waiting. In those times, it's easy to believe that something is wrong with you, that maybe you're missing out on something important. But let me tell you that stillness is not a sign of stagnation. It is a vital pause, a crucial moment that you need to embrace. The pause is not an accident. It is not the universe punishing you. It is not a signal that you are forgotten. The pause is part of your process. It is there to give you space. It is there for you to breathe, to reflect, to center yourself. It's the silence between the chapters of your life, a moment for you to gather yourself before moving forward. We often think that we must always be doing, achieving, progressing. We've been taught that activity equals success. But what if the greatest success lies in stillness? What if the most powerful things happen when you are not pushing, striving, or forcing? In the pause, you are being recalibrated. You are being prepared for what's to come, even if you can't see it yet. Your mind and heart need this time to align with what is truly meant for you. The pause helps you shed what is no longer serving you, and it clears the space for what's coming next, something bigger, something better, something that will require all of you to be fully ready. The reality is that this pause might feel uncomfortable at times, even frustrating. It can be tempting to fill the silence with worry or doubt, to question your worth or wonder if you've somehow missed the boat. But don't let that discomfort fool you. The pause is actually your moment to strengthen yourself. It's the quiet before the storm of change, and it's preparing you for a future that is bright, but requires patience and growth to reach. When the time comes for you to move forward, you'll have the inner strength and clarity to take that next step with confidence, knowing that the pause wasn't an obstacle, but an opportunity. So let go of the urgency. Stop trying to rush past the waiting moments, because the pause has value. Let it nurture you. Let it teach you. Trust that it's leading you to the right place at the right time. When you embrace the pause, you create the space needed for transformation. You allow yourself to grow in ways you didn't even know you needed to. So next time you find yourself in that stillness, don't fear it. Embrace it. Because in that very pause, you are being prepared for something extraordinary. There are moments in life when it feels like nothing is moving. You're waiting for something, perhaps for a dream to unfold, a goal to be realized, or a shift to take place in your life. And during these times, it's easy to become frustrated or disheartened, feeling like the world is passing you by. But what if I told you that the waiting period, the very moment where it feels like nothing is happening, is actually where your purpose is being shaped? Waiting is not an empty space. It is full of meaning and intention. It may seem like a pause, like a time when you are stuck in limbo, but the truth is, the waiting is an essential part of the process. During this time, you are being prepared in ways you cannot yet understand. Every delay, every moment of uncertainty is refining you. It's teaching you patience, resilience, and the ability to trust in the timing of your life. In the waiting, you learn to find clarity. You begin to sift through what truly matters and what doesn't. You start to understand who you are at a deeper level, what you need, what you're ready for, and perhaps even more importantly, what you're not ready for. You get the chance to reevaluate your purpose, to refine your goals, and to get your heart and mind aligned with your deepest desires. Waiting isn't the absence of movement, it's a necessary phase that helps you step into your full potential. What may seem like inactivity is actually a time of inner growth. While the external world might not see the change happening within you, you are undergoing a transformation that is preparing you for what's ahead. You're learning valuable lessons about yourself, about the world, and about the people around you. Your character is being molded, your strength is being built, and your heart is being expanded to hold more of what's coming. The waiting also teaches you to embrace the journey, not just the destination. Too often we get fixated on the outcome, thinking that once we achieve something, everything will fall into place. But it's in the waiting that we develop the skills, the wisdom, and the perspective that will allow us to truly appreciate what we achieve when it finally comes. The waiting period teaches us that the journey itself has purpose. Every step, even the ones that seem insignificant, are part of the grand picture. So while you wait, know that the universe is not ignoring you. It is preparing you. It is aligning things, putting the right opportunities and people in your path at the right time. And in this process, your purpose is becoming clearer and stronger. Your dreams are not being delayed. They're being carefully crafted, and you are being equipped with the tools to step into them when the time is right. Purpose is not only found in the destination, but in the waiting, in the quiet moments of preparation. Those times are not wasted. They are making you who you need to be. And when you finally step into what you've been waiting for, you will realize that every moment of waiting had a deeper purpose, one that could only be fulfilled by that very period of stillness. In life, we often find ourselves in situations where we can't see the next step clearly, where we're unsure of how the journey is going to unfold. During these times, it's easy to feel frustrated, anxious, or uncertain. We question whether we're on the right path, wondering if we're doing enough, or if things will ever come together the way we hope. But in these moments, it's crucial to remember one thing: trust the process. Trusting the process is not about having all the answers or knowing exactly how everything will turn out. It's about letting go of the need to control every single detail and surrendering to the flow of life. It's about recognizing that sometimes the best thing we can do is stop trying to force things to happen and instead allow them to unfold naturally. Trusting the process means having faith that even in the moments when it feels like nothing is happening, everything is happening exactly as it should. This journey of life isn't always linear. It doesn't always go in the direction we expect or at the speed we want. But that's okay. Trusting the process means believing that every step, every delay, and every detour is part of your story. Even the setbacks and the challenges you face are not obstacles, but opportunities for growth. Every experience, whether it feels good or bad at the time, is teaching you something you need to learn, helping you become the person you're meant to be. It's easy to get discouraged when things aren't moving as quickly as you'd like, or when it seems like your dreams are still far off. But trusting the process requires patience. It requires you to understand that timing is everything. Sometimes what you think you need right now may not be what's best for you in the long run. The process is refining you, preparing you for the moment when everything falls into place. You are being shaped by life's challenges, and these challenges are leading you exactly where you need to be. Trusting the process also means trusting yourself. It means having confidence in your ability to handle whatever comes your way, even if it feels overwhelming at times. The process is about growth, and growth is not always comfortable. It's often messy and unpredictable, but it's always moving you forward, even when you can't see the destination. When you trust the process, you begin to trust that everything you need to succeed is already within you, even if you haven't fully realized it yet. So when life doesn't seem to make sense or when things feel uncertain, remind yourself to trust the process. Trust that everything is unfolding for your highest good, even if it doesn't look that way at first. Trust that the timing is right and that each step you take, no matter how small, is part of a bigger picture. Trust that the path you're on is leading you exactly where you need to go, and that in time you will understand why things happen the way they did. Trust the process, even when it's hard. Trust that the journey is as important as the destination. And when everything finally comes together, you will see how every twist, every turn, and every moment of doubt was necessary to bring you to the place you were always meant to be. Self-discovery is a journey that is both beautiful and sometimes challenging, but it is always worth it. It's a process that involves peeling back layers, questioning who you are, and uncovering the truths that lie beneath the surface. The search for yourself can feel like a profound exploration, one where you come face to face with your fears, desires, strengths, and vulnerabilities. What's often misunderstood is that self-discovery doesn't happen all at once. It's not something you figure out in a single moment or a short period of time. It is an ongoing, evolving process that unfolds throughout your life, and it requires patience, openness, and the courage to look within.
At its core, self-discovery is about learning to understand your own heart and mind. It's about understanding what makes you tick, what lights you up, and what drains you. It's about recognizing your passions and your purpose. But it also involves confronting the aspects of yourself that may be uncomfortable or difficult to face, the patterns that hold you back, the fears that keep you small, the wounds you haven't yet healed. These are the parts of yourself that often get ignored, yet they are just as crucial to the journey as the parts of you that are joyful, optimistic, or strong. Through self-discovery, you learn not only to accept those parts, but also to heal and transform them. The path to self-discovery is filled with moments of realization and revelation. You start to question old beliefs and start shedding the layers that were placed upon you by society, family, or others' expectations. You begin to ask, is this really who I am? Or is this who I've been told I should be? This process is empowering because it allows you to reclaim your own truth. It's a journey that helps you reconnect with your authentic self, the person you were always meant to be, before the world began to tell you who to be. Self-discovery also requires deep reflection, which means you need to spend time with yourself. In a world that often pushes us to be constantly busy, it's easy to forget the importance of simply being. But when you allow yourself moments of stillness and reflection, you begin to hear the whispers of your inner voice, the voice that has been trying to guide you all along. It's in the quiet moments that you can begin to tune into your intuition, to recognize your desires, and to identify what feels truly right for you. This journey also asks you to get comfortable with change. As you learn more about yourself, your desires may shift, your goals may evolve, and your values might become clearer. It's okay to change, to evolve, and to grow. Self-discovery is not about reaching a final destination, but about continuously learning and adapting. You might discover new passions or interests you never expected. You might change careers, relationships, or perspectives, and all of this is a natural part of the process. It's important to trust that these changes are not signs of failure or confusion, but rather signs of growth and progress. Another vital aspect of self-discovery is learning to embrace your uniqueness. In a world where comparison is all too easy, it's essential to remember that there is no one else like you. Your experiences, your perspective, your talents, and your path are yours alone. Through self-discovery, you gain the confidence to stand in your own truth, free from the need to compare yourself to others. You realize that your journey is your own, and that's more than enough. Self-discovery is not always a smooth road. It's filled with challenges, doubts, and moments of uncertainty. But in each of these moments, there is an opportunity for growth. When you feel lost, know that the process is working to help you uncover something even greater within yourself. The discomfort, the questioning, and the stumbling are all part of the transformation. When you look back on the road you've traveled, you will see how far you've come, how much you've learned, and how deeply you've connected with yourself. Ultimately, self-discovery is about embracing the fullness of who you are, your light, your shadows, your strengths, and your imperfections. It's about understanding that you are enough just as you are, while also recognizing the infinite potential for growth and change that resides within you. Through self-discovery, you step into your true power, and you become the person you were always meant to be. So trust yourself. Take the time you need to explore, to question, to evolve. Because in the end, there is nothing more important than knowing and loving the person you truly are. Patience is one of those qualities that we often overlook or underestimate, especially in a world that moves at a breakneck pace. We're constantly told to hustle, to make things happen, and to push forward with urgency. But in the midst of this rush, we forget that patience is not just a passive waiting game. It's an active, powerful force that can shape our lives in ways we never imagined. Patience is the silent strength that allows us to endure, to stay grounded, and to trust that things are unfolding exactly as they should, even when we don't see immediate results. Patience teaches us to slow down and surrender control. It's easy to get caught up in the need for instant gratification. We want things to happen now, and when they don't, we can become frustrated or disheartened. But patience is about recognizing that some things take time. Real, meaningful change doesn't happen overnight. Growth, healing, and success are often the result of consistent effort over time. And in order for that process to take place, we need to allow it the space to unfold. Patience teaches us to release the tight grip we often have on the outcomes and trust that things will happen in their own time. When we cultivate patience, we also cultivate resilience. The more we learn to wait, the stronger we become in handling life's challenges. Patience doesn't mean passively sitting by and doing nothing. It means persevering with grace, even when things aren't happening as quickly as we'd like. It means staying committed to our goals, even when progress feels slow or uncertain. The patience we develop through life's difficulties equips us to handle future challenges with greater ease and wisdom. In this way, patience is an investment in our ability to navigate both the smooth and stormy roads of life. In addition to building resilience, patience gives us the gift of perspective. When we're in the middle of a situation or challenge, it's easy to become overwhelmed and lose sight of the bigger picture. We may feel frustrated because we can't see immediate progress, but patience helps us take a step back. It helps us see that sometimes the delays and the waiting periods are part of a larger plan. What we may perceive as a setback might actually be a setup for something greater. When we practice patience, we learn to trust that the universe is working on our behalf, even when we can't see the details from our current vantage point. Patience also deepens our self-awareness and understanding of the world around us. It teaches us to stay present and grounded, rather than constantly reaching for the next thing. When we are patient, we stop rushing through life and we become more attuned to the beauty of the moment. We begin to appreciate the little things, the slow mornings, the quiet moments, the process of becoming. Rather than focusing solely on the destination, patience invites us to enjoy the journey. It reminds us that life is not just about achieving our goals, but about the experiences and lessons we gather along the way. Patience is not only valuable in our personal lives, but in our relationships as well. It helps us to understand that people are on their own paths, at their own paces. When we're patient with others, we create space for growth and connection. We learn that not everyone is ready to meet us at the same place, and that's okay. Patience allows us to accept others as they are without judgment or frustration, and to support them as they navigate their own journeys. Just as we need time to evolve, so do others. By practicing patience with the people in our lives, we build stronger, more compassionate connections. Moreover, patience allows us to develop a deeper sense of inner peace. When we stop rushing, stop demanding instant results, and stop pushing ourselves too hard, we find calmness in the present moment. Patience helps us detach from the constant need for achievement and reminds us that we are enough, regardless of where we are on our journey. The peace that comes with patience is the peace of knowing that we don't have to control everything and that life has its own timing that we must trust. In moments of doubt, when things aren't moving as fast as we wish, it's easy to think we're stuck or that progress is impossible. But in those moments, patience whispers that everything is unfolding as it should. Sometimes, the most important growth happens in the quiet, invisible moments, and it's only with time that we will see how far we've come. The power of patience lies in its ability to teach us that nothing of true value happens instantly, and that the waiting, the enduring, and the trusting are all parts of the beautiful process of life. So, the next time you feel yourself growing impatient, remember that you are being given an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to trust. Be gentle with yourself in the process. Let patience guide you, and know that everything you are working toward is coming to you at the right time. In the end, is not just about the destination, but about how we move through the journey, patient, resilient, and open to the flow of life. Building inner strength is one of the most transformative journeys we can embark on in life. It's not something that comes easily, nor is it something that can be attained overnight. It's a gradual process of growth and self-discovery, where you learn to draw upon your own resources, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, in order to face life's challenges with resilience and grace. Inner strength isn't about avoiding difficult situations or pretending that everything is perfect. Rather, it's about learning how to navigate adversity, how to stand firm in the face of uncertainty, and how to maintain a sense of peace within yourself, no matter what is happening around you. One of the first steps in building inner strength is cultivating self-awareness. When you become aware of your thoughts, feelings, and reactions, you gain insight into your inner world. You start to recognize patterns in your behavior and emotional responses, and you can begin to identify areas where you may need to grow or heal. This self-awareness is a powerful tool because it allows you to confront your weaknesses, acknowledge your fears, and address the limiting beliefs that might be holding you back. Rather than being ruled by unconscious impulses, you begin to take responsibility for your own emotional well-being and mental state. Another important aspect of building inner strength is learning to trust yourself. Trust is the foundation of resilience. When you trust in your own ability to navigate life's challenges, you become less afraid of the unknown and more confident in your capacity to handle whatever comes your way. This trust comes from experience. It's built over time, through facing challenges, making mistakes, and learning from them. Each time you overcome an obstacle, no matter how small, you reinforce the belief that you are capable. Over time, this trust expands, and you realize that no matter what life throws at you, you have the strength within to face it. Developing emotional resilience is another key component of inner strength. Life is full of ups and downs, and emotions can sometimes feel overwhelming. But when you build emotional resilience, you learn how to process and manage your emotions rather than allowing them to control you. This doesn't mean suppressing or ignoring difficult emotions, but instead allowing yourself to feel them fully and then letting them pass through you. You learn to observe your emotions without judgment and to respond to them in a healthy way. Emotional resilience also involves developing patience with yourself, recognizing that it's okay to feel vulnerable and giving yourself the time and space to heal when needed. At the heart of building inner strength is cultivating a sense of purpose. When you have a clear sense of what matters most to you, and when you live in alignment with your values, you develop an unwavering foundation that can withstand life's storms. Purpose gives you direction and motivation, even in the darkest of times. When you're clear about your purpose, you're more likely to make decisions that support your growth and well-being, and you are less easily swayed by external circumstances or the opinions of others. Purpose provides you with the strength to keep going, even when the path is uncertain or the journey feels long.
A critical part of building inner strength is learning to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. Often we view obstacles and hardships as things to be avoided, things that derail our plans or make us feel weak. But when you shift your mindset and begin to see challenges as opportunities to learn and grow, you strengthen your ability to navigate difficult situations. Each challenge you face teaches you something valuable, whether it's a lesson about yourself, the world around you, or the way you interact with others. As you face these challenges head on and learn to adapt, you build resilience and strengthen your character. Self-compassion plays a significant role in developing inner strength. It's easy to be hard on yourself when things don't go as planned or when you make a mistake. But inner strength doesn't come from being self-critical. It comes from treating yourself with kindness, especially in moments of struggle. When you show yourself compassion, you allow space for healing, growth, and improvement. You stop seeing your failures as weaknesses and instead recognize them as opportunities to learn. Self-compassion reminds you that you are human and that it's okay to fall short sometimes. It's the understanding that you are worthy of love and respect, no matter what. Mindfulness and presence also contribute significantly to inner strength. When you live in the moment and focus on what's happening right now, you stop worrying about what might happen in the future or dwelling on past mistakes. Being present allows you to conserve energy, maintain clarity, and make decisions from a place of calm. It also helps you respond to life's challenges with a clear and open mind, rather than reacting impulsively or emotionally. Mindfulness enables you to develop the mental discipline to stay grounded, even when the external world feels chaotic or uncertain. Ultimately, building inner strength is about developing a deep sense of self-reliance. It's about understanding that you are your own greatest resource and that you have everything within you to overcome adversity. While external support, encouragement, and guidance are important, the true foundation of strength comes from within. When you learn to rely on your own abilities, trust your intuition, and remain steadfast in your purpose, you become an unstoppable force. Your inner strength is your anchor in the storm, your light in the darkness, and the source of your power to keep moving forward, no matter what obstacles may come your way. Inner strength is not about being invincible or unbreakable. It's about being resilient, flexible, and capable of bouncing back from life's inevitable challenges. It's about learning to trust yourself, to show compassion for your imperfections, and to face adversity with courage and grace. It's an ongoing process of growth, a continual journey of self-discovery and empowerment. The more you build your inner strength, the more you realize that you are capable of handling anything life throws your way, and that you have within you the power to create the life you desire. Introspection is a powerful tool for personal growth, one that allows us to look inward and examine our thoughts, actions, and emotions with a sense of clarity and honesty. It's the process of turning your attention to yourself, asking deep questions about who you are, what you believe, and where you're headed. In a world that often demands constant activity and external focus, introspection gives us the space to pause, reflect, and understand the deeper layers of our being. It is through this inner examination that we begin to uncover the truths about ourselves, revealing both our strengths and our areas of vulnerability. At the heart of introspection is the willingness to face yourself without judgment. It requires an openness to looking at the parts of your life that you may have overlooked or suppressed, the moments of doubt, fear, or regret. Rather than avoiding discomfort, introspection encourages you to sit with those feelings and understand them, to explore why they exist and what they can teach you. It's about being honest with yourself, no matter how difficult or painful that honesty may be. This self-awareness allows you to grow, because without understanding the root causes of your thoughts and behaviors, it's nearly impossible to make lasting change. As you engage in introspection, you begin to recognize patterns in your behavior, both the positive ones and the ones that might be holding you back. Perhaps you notice that you tend to react defensively in certain situations, or that you often sabotage your own success out of fear. By examining these patterns, you gain the insight needed to break free from limiting beliefs and habits. Introspection allows you to see things for what they truly are, without the filters of past experiences or external expectations. It helps you separate your true self from the roles you've played or the masks you've worn for others. In doing so, you create the possibility for real growth. This growth is often uncomfortable, as it challenges the familiar and pushes you to step outside your comfort zone. But it's through this discomfort that true transformation occurs. When you confront your weaknesses or your fears with honesty and compassion, you create the space to heal and evolve. The process of introspection invites you to take responsibility for your life, to own your choices, and to recognize the power you have to change your path. It's not about perfection, but progress, about understanding where you are now and deciding where you want to go. Through introspection, you also cultivate a deeper understanding of your values, your passions, and your purpose. Often we get so caught up in the noise of life that we lose sight of what truly matters to us. Introspection helps us reconnect with those core truths, offering clarity on what we want from life and what kind of person we want to be. When we understand our deepest motivations, we can align our actions with our values, leading to a more authentic and fulfilling life. This process is not one that happens quickly. It takes time to peel back the layers and get to the heart of who we are, but each layer you uncover brings you closer to understanding your true self. As you grow through introspection, you also learn to be more compassionate toward yourself. Often we are our own harshest critics, focusing on our mistakes, our shortcomings, and our failures. But introspection helps us shift this perspective. It encourages us to see our flaws not as failures, but as opportunities to learn and improve. The goal is not to become perfect, but to become better versions of ourselves, versions that are kinder, wiser, and more self-aware. By accepting and embracing our imperfections, we allow ourselves the freedom to grow without fear of judgment. Growth, as revealed through introspection, also involves making conscious choices. It's not enough to simply understand your patterns or recognize your fears. Growth requires action. Once you identify the areas in your life that need attention, introspection invites you to make changes, whether that's taking a new direction in your career, setting healthier boundaries in your relationships, or shifting your mindset about challenges. Introspection empowers you to make decisions that are aligned with your values, to step forward with confidence, and to take responsibility for your life's trajectory. The more you practice this self-awareness, the more you begin to trust yourself and your ability to navigate whatever comes your way. Introspection and growth are intertwined. They feed off of one another. The more you reflect on your experiences, the more you learn about yourself and the more you grow. This growth is not linear. It's a process of trial and error. It's a process of trial and error, of learning from missteps and of continuing to evolve. But through each cycle of reflection and growth, you build the foundation for a richer, more fulfilling life. Growth doesn't mean you'll never face challenges, but it means that you are better equipped to face them. You develop the mental and emotional tools to navigate difficulties with greater ease and to embrace life's uncertainties with confidence. Introspection is a lifelong journey, a continuous unfolding of who you are and who you are becoming. It's a practice of returning to yourself over and over in moments of quiet reflection, in times of struggle, and in periods of success. It's through this process that we create the space for real, lasting change. Every moment spent in self-reflection brings us closer to the person we are meant to be, and every step of growth strengthens our ability to live a life that is authentic, meaningful, and full of purpose. In this ongoing process, we find not just ourselves, but the power to shape our future. It's easy to get caught in the trap of comparing your journey to others, especially in a world where social media highlights the successes, achievements, and milestones of everyone around you. We are constantly exposed to curated versions of other people's lives, seemingly perfect snapshots of happiness, career triumphs, and personal accomplishments. But the reality is that each of us is on a unique journey, one that cannot be compared to someone else's, no matter how similar the circumstances may seem. When we start comparing our progress to others, we lose sight of our own path, our own purpose, and our own growth. The first step in embracing your own journey is understanding that no one's path is linear. While it may appear that others have it all figured out, the truth is that everyone experiences setbacks, failures, and moments of uncertainty along the way. What we often don't see is the struggle behind the success, the sacrifices, the late nights, the doubts, and the perseverance it took to reach a certain point. Just because someone else seems to be ahead of you does not mean you are falling behind. Each person's journey is filled with its own set of challenges and lessons, and what works for one individual may not work for you. It's important to remember that your journey is your own. You are walking a path that is uniquely yours, shaped by your experiences, your values, and your goals. Comparing it to someone else's is like comparing apples to oranges. They may both be fruit, but they are fundamentally different. The circumstances you face, the lessons you've learned, and the things you've had to overcome make your journey uniquely yours. This is not a race. There is no universal timeline for success, happiness, or fulfillment. Everyone grows and evolves at their own pace, and it's okay if your path looks different from someone else's. When you compare your journey to someone else's, you not only diminish your own accomplishments, but also rob yourself of the joy that comes with your own progress. Every step forward, no matter how small, is something to celebrate. It's easy to overlook your achievements when you're constantly measuring yourself against others, but taking the time to acknowledge how far you've come is essential for building self-confidence and self-compassion. Your journey is filled with victories, no matter how small they may seem. And each of those victories is a testament to your resilience, determination, and strength. Another important aspect of not comparing your journey is recognizing that everyone's timing is different. You might look at someone else's life and wonder why they're achieving things at an earlier age, or why they seem to have it all together while you feel like you're still figuring it out. But life is not a race, and the timing of your success, your happiness, and your fulfillment will unfold when it is meant to. What is right for someone else may not be right for you, and forcing yourself into someone else's timeline will only lead to frustration and self-doubt. Trust that everything will unfold in its own time, and be patient with yourself as you take each step forward. Instead of focusing on others, shift your energy toward your own growth. Embrace your own process and allow yourself to evolve at your own pace. This means giving yourself permission to make mistakes, to learn from those mistakes, and to take your time. There is wisdom in slowing down and trusting the process, and in honoring where you are right now. It's not about achieving perfection, but about becoming the best version of yourself. When you stop comparing your journey to others, you free yourself to fully embrace the path you are on and to appreciate the lessons that are unfolding along the way. Sometimes comparing yourself to others can lead to feelings of inadequacy or self-doubt, but these feelings are only temporary. When you remind yourself that you are on your own journey and that your path is just as valuable as anyone else's, you start to feel empowered. The challenges you face, the roadblocks you encounter, and the moments of struggle are not signs of failure, they are opportunities for growth. Embrace these challenges, for they are shaping you into the person you are becoming. Trust that every experience is contributing to your unique story. It's also important to realize that what you see on the outside does not always reflect the full story. People often share their highlight reels, but there is so much more to the narrative that we don't see: the quiet moments of doubt, the sacrifices behind the success, the private struggles that no one shares. So when you compare yourself to others, remember that you are only seeing a small part of their lives. You cannot know the full extent of their struggles or the time and effort it took them to reach their current point. This reminder can help you release the pressure to measure up and shift your focus back to your own journey. By choosing not to compare your journey to others, you free yourself from the weight of unnecessary expectations. You let go of the belief that you should be at a certain place in your life based on someone else's timeline. Instead, you start to honor your own growth and progress, no matter how unconventional or different it may seem. Embrace the uniqueness of your journey. Trust that it is leading you exactly where you need to go, and remember that your path is just as valid and meaningful as anyone else's. At the end of the day, the only person you need to compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. Focus on how far you've come, not how far others have gone. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small, and recognize the value in every step you take. Your journey is not meant to look like anyone else's. It is meant to be uniquely yours. And when you stop comparing, you open yourself to the full beauty of your own process, trusting that you are exactly where you need to be at this moment in time. Isolation is often seen as something to avoid, a state that we strive to escape from or fill with distractions. Whether physical, emotional, or mental, being alone can feel uncomfortable, lonely, and even intimidating. But there is a profound lesson hidden within isolation, one that offers opportunities for growth, self-discovery, and healing. While it may seem like an unwanted experience, isolation can provide clarity, insight, and an invitation to connect more deeply with yourself. In times of isolation, you are given the chance to turn inward and face parts of yourself that you might typically overlook or suppress. In the busyness of life, it's easy to get distracted by external events, people, and circumstances. But when you are isolated, you are forced to sit with yourself in stillness. This can be a powerful opportunity for self-reflection. You are given space to process your thoughts, explore your emotions, and reflect on your life's direction without the noise of outside influences. Isolation forces you to ask deep questions about your desires, your values, your past, and your future. In that solitude, you can begin to understand what truly matters to you, and more importantly, what doesn't. Isolation can also foster creativity and innovation. When we are constantly surrounded by others, we often rely on external input to shape our ideas and decisions, but when we are alone, we are forced to think for ourselves. This freedom can lead to new insights, solutions, and perspectives that we might not have discovered otherwise. The silence and stillness of isolation provide the space for creativity to flourish. Without distractions, our minds are free to wander and explore new possibilities. It's in these moments of solitude that we may have some of our most brilliant ideas or breakthroughs, simply because we are no longer clouded by the opinions and judgments of others. Another significant lesson of isolation is the development of inner strength. When we are isolated, we are forced to rely on ourselves. There are no external distractions or support systems to lean on. It's just you standing face to face with your thoughts, your fears, and your desires. This can be intimidating, but it also builds resilience. By learning how to navigate moments of loneliness and uncertainty, we strengthen our ability to handle challenges in life. Isolation teaches us that we are capable of enduring hardship, of sitting with discomfort, and of moving through difficult emotions without needing external validation or support. We learn to trust ourselves and our ability to cope, which ultimately empowers us. Moreover, isolation can help us foster gratitude. When we are always surrounded by people and things, we sometimes take them for granted. We forget how much we have, how far we've come, and how many blessings we've been given. In solitude, we are reminded of the things we have and the importance of appreciating them. It's easy to become discontented when we focus on what we lack. But isolation allows us to turn inward and reflect on our blessings, our health, our relationships, and our opportunities. It's a time to rediscover the value of quiet moments, simple pleasures, and the peace that comes with being alone. Trusting in timing is one of the most challenging yet transformative practices we can cultivate in our lives. In a world that demands instant results and quick fixes, the concept of waiting for the right moment can feel counterintuitive. We live in an era of instant gratification where we expect things to happen quickly, and when they don't, frustration and impatience can easily take over. However, learning to trust in the natural timing of life is a lesson in patience, acceptance, and surrender, offering us a deeper understanding of the rhythms of our personal journeys. When we begin to trust in timing, we allow ourselves to release the need for control and instead align ourselves with the flow of life. This doesn't mean we should stop working toward our goals or giving our best effort. Rather, it means understanding that there are things outside of our control. Sometimes the timing of an event, opportunity, or breakthrough is simply not aligned with our expectations. When we trust in the timing, we recognize that we don't need to rush things, nor do we need to force outcomes. By surrendering to the process and letting go of the need to push, we open ourselves up to the magic of life unfolding naturally. One of the most difficult aspects of trusting in timing is learning to release our attachment to specific outcomes. We often become fixated on how we want things to turn out, imagining a very particular result or path. But life has a way of surprising us with new directions, opportunities, and outcomes that we never could have anticipated. By holding too tightly to our own expectations, we may miss out on something even better. Trusting in timing means staying open to the possibility that things will unfold in a way that is greater than we could have imagined. It's about releasing the need to control every detail and allowing life to surprise us with its infinite possibilities. There is also an element of faith involved in trusting in timing. It requires believing that there is a greater plan for your life, one that unfolds in its own time with perfect precision. You may not always understand why certain things happen when they do, or why some doors close while others remain shut. But trust in the timing of life means having faith that there is a bigger picture at play. Even if we don't see it in the moment, we can trust that the universe, fate, or life itself has a way of aligning things in ways that are ultimately for our good. The right person, opportunity, or circumstance will arrive when it's meant to, and not a moment sooner. Trusting in timing doesn't mean sitting back and doing nothing. It means showing up for your life, doing the work, and taking inspired action, all while having faith that things will unfold in the right way and at the right time. It's about balancing effort with patience, work with trust. It's about knowing when to push forward and when to step back. Understanding that there is a natural ebb and flow to life's experiences. When you can trust the timing, you stop fighting against the current and instead you learn how to flow with it. When you look back on your life, you will realize that everything happened in its own time, just as it was meant to. The struggles, the waiting, the periods of uncertainty, all of these moments were preparing you for the next phase of your journey. Trusting in timing is not about waiting idly for things to happen. It's about aligning yourself with the natural flow of life, taking action when necessary, and trusting that the perfect moment will come when it's right for you. Trusting in the timing of your life allows you to let go of anxiety and control and embrace the peace that comes with knowing you are exactly where you need to be.